Well, the first two rounds are over, and in my opinion, this has been a fairly chalky first two rounds, but we're here. My bracket is one of the worst. Like, it's impressively bad. I need to show you this. Hold on. I want you to look at the South region. I have everything wrong except for Houston, who's the 1 seed. It's going impressively bad for me. Not to mention, I've already lost two Final Four teams in this. I had Oregon. I'm not upset about Oregon. It was a very good game. They ran out of steam. But the point of what I'm trying to say is, honestly, these first two rounds have been, at least the second round was pretty boring. All the higher seeds really won. Of course, you did have Auburn losing to Yale in the first round. Bit of an upset, but then San Diego State kind of just rolled them. Another one of the big first round upsets also got rolled in the second round. And then this was a very good game. I would say kind of pulled away at the end. I did, I guess, underestimate them. I had picked against them in this game against Drake, but Washington State still lost. I still thought Washington State was going to win in my last picks. This was a very good game early, but North Carolina pulled away. I didn't realize Alabama ended up winning by 11, but again, this was another very good game. St. Mary's, of course, blowing the game to Grand Canyon. And then this, I actually did pick this one in my last video. Clemson over Baylor. Arizona beat Dayton, that's to be expected. Tennessee, this was a concerning game for me. I kind of now believe Creighton's going to beat them just after watching this game. And Creighton, of course, taking down a team I had in my Final Four in Oregon. Gonzaga, very impressive, as well as Purdue. Marquette almost losing the game to Colorado. Again, Colorado is a very good team. I like them quite a bit. NC State beating Oakland. That's kind of just sad. These two teams had to meet because these are the two teams are most likable at this point. Duke, of course, rolling over James Madison, and then you have Houston beating Texas A&M in a very close overtime game. And that has set up our Sweet 16. So, of course, ESPN does this, the Sweet 16 brackets, the second chance brackets, as they put it. I need redemption. I desperately do. My bracket is one of the most pitiful things I have ever done. I guess I overthought a lot of it. I don't really know how it went as poorly as it did. I am like I'm 20th percentile. It is quite bad. So we're going to go through this and we're going to play it safe. We're also just going to try to redeem. I want this bracket to be, at least the Final Four has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. I need it. So we're going to get started with not Houston. I'm already messing up. With UConn and San Diego State. This is going to be UConn's game. San Diego State, they're kind of here because Auburn blew the game to Yale. They haven't played a higher seed yet. And San Diego State, while they made the championship run, beating the 1 seed last year, I did make that mistake picking Bama last year. They're just not as good, and UConn is way more complete than that Bama team was. Illinois, Iowa State, game of the round right here. Could really go either way. I have underestimated Iowa State twice, though, so I'm going to go with them. Illinois very easily could win this game, however, but I am going to go with Iowa State out of the Big 12. They've really done nothing to not earn my trust. They beat Houston in the Big 12 championship, in fact, and I am very high on Houston, but I don't know. I just have been picking against them. They're kind of that 2 seed that's easy to pick against. Illinois has been rolling, but I will go with Iowa State just out of respect. Houston versus Duke. I'm going to go with Duke, actually. So in my main bracket, I do have Houston in the championship game. That is how not confident I am in that pick and in that whole. Don't know what happened, but no, Duke's been playing really well. Houston had that late scare against A&M. So I just play the hot hand, even though I kind of ignored that here. But I play the hot hand. I like Duke in that matchup. And then NC State Marquette. This tournament's been pretty boring, so naturally the only fun team left is probably going to lose this game to Marquette. Although, all jokes aside, Marquette is a likable team. Kolek looks incredible. I mean, some of they were just like a 7-foot guy would be on the man, and he would just get it over their head. I don't know how. He always would do it, and I think they're going to beat NC State in a close game that gives you hope, but then just they fall apart and lose by 12 at the end. North Carolina, Alabama. This is an interesting one for me because my original bracket, Carolina is my champion, but then in my last video, I did Alabama over them because I kind of like the offensive scoring, but then Alabama had a rough offensive game against Grand Canyon. Concerning, nonetheless. I will go with North Carolina now after seeing that. I don't know if Alabama's as scary as I thought in the last video, but I do like North Carolina in this game. And then Arizona versus Clemson. I'm going to go with Arizona. I think Clemson's the weakest team left in the field, even over San Diego State and NC State. I just like Arizona. They're complete. They're bound for a run. That's how I feel about it. This is another really good game. Purdue versus Gonzaga. I will go with Purdue. They're kind of on that date with destiny, that championship sort of run. Gonzaga's been hot. I kind of wish they didn't match up with Purdue. I would probably have them over any of the other 1 seeds except for UConn. But I will go with Purdue in that matchup. And then Creighton, Tennessee. I kind of hinted at earlier. I will go with Creighton in that game. Tennessee gave a scare against Texas, and I mean, they haven't been, well, they did win the first game pretty handedly. They haven't been as dominant recently. Of course, they did lose to Mississippi State in the SEC tournament, so I will go with Creighton, who played a very tough Oregon team very well and ended up winning that game in double overtime. This is where it gets interesting. This has to be perfect for me. For which reason, I'm going to go with UConn, even though I would love to pick Iowa State. I will go with UConn. I just have to, man. I can't get this Final Four wrong, and that's kind of the team I'm the most confident in. Even though I think Iowa State very much has a chance in this game. This very much gives me like 2019 Duke Michigan State vibes from this game. Very well could see Iowa State winning it, but I will go with UConn. To be safe, I need to play it safe. I don't want to overthink this. Duke Marquette, I really like Duke in this region. I really do. I was low on them. I had them losing to Vermont in the first round. I really like how they match up with Houston, and I really like how they match up with Marquette. I think this is a great opportunity for them to get back to the Final Four for the first time in 2 years. It's been a while. Going down here, North Carolina, Arizona. Very good game again. The Caleb Love revenge game. I do just trust Carolina more to get back to the Final Four, although I think this will be a very close game and could really go either way. I see it as like a 3 or 4 point game that comes down to the last shot. And then Purdue Creighton, I will go with Purdue. So I have 3 1 seeds in Duke. Kind of boring, but again, I need this to be right. I need it to be right. So then in our Final Four, we have UConn versus North Carolina. I had North Carolina on my original, although I didn't have them playing UConn because I had Auburn here. I will go with UConn over North Carolina. Again, I just didn't have North Carolina playing them initially, so that's kind of why I had him as a champion. But UConn is just an unstoppable force. Duke, Purdue, I will go with Purdue. Purdue, I really like. I really like Purdue. And I'm actually going to pick Purdue over UConn. People are going to say there's no chance. I really do believe that the thing that, I mean, with Virginia, it's cliche, where they lost to the 16 and then went on the championship run. I think it's a real thing. When you had that letdown and then you come back wanting it more than ever, I really think it's a real thing, and I really do believe that they're going to get it done. Do I think is a good pick to go over UConn, even though I just said I have to get it right? Maybe not, but this is how I feel in the moment. I have this vibe from them. This is the team that's going to get it done. Now, do I strongly believe in this? I'm picking it, so it's somehow all of this is going to be wrong somehow, but I really do believe in it, and this is how I feel at the moment. Going into the Sweet 16, I have Purdue. This is the third round, and it's the third different champion I've picked. But yeah. I mean, let me know what your thoughts have been. I mean, this tournament hasn't been too unpredictable, but I anticipated it being too unpredictable, so I had a lot of lower seeds. Going into the Sweet 16, I have 3 1 seeds, and I very well could see all 4 making it. I really could. Up here, I think, is the biggest struggle, but again, they have the hardest 1 seed. Arizona could win. Creighton could even win, but I do trust Purdue. Bad sentence, but yeah, this is how I feel going into this Sweet 16. I will cover the Elite 8, but this will probably all be toast by then. Purdue will probably lose to Gonzaga. That's how it is. Just thank you for tuning in again, and enjoy the Sweet 16. I think this is the type of tournament. It was slow in the second round, a lot of chalk. This is where that type of tournament heats up, because now we got all the top teams in a couple rounds of basketball. So this is where we'll get fun.